Well, what do we have here? A closed-loop liquid cooler from EVGA. That's right, my friends. After launching a pretty successful air cooler a few years ago, EVGA has expanded their cooling solutions towards all-in-ones. EVGA may be in for a challenge though, since companies like Corsair, NCXT, and Cooler Master have experience, market share, and the time on their side. I'm really interested to see how well this cooler can keep up with those competitors, since as you know, EVGA has been well known for their all-in-one hybrid water cooling solutions for NVIDIA-based GPUs. Will that awesome performance on the graphics card side translate into a competitive AIO? Let's find out and dive into this new cooler from EVGA right after a message from our sponsor.
Victory for the Forsaken.
You can only rely on the pro to do the job, with every keystroke satisfying like the millions before it. Quality feel with every key, regardless of your space. Cooler Master Master Keys Pro. Take it with you. Make it yours.
So this is the new CLC 280 liquid CPU cooler that runs for about $130 US. The model name itself implies the fact that it sports a 280mm radiator that we'll talk about shortly, but if you're having trouble finding room for a massive radiator inside your case, EVGA also offers a 120mm variant for $90. Unfortunately, there isn't a 240mm variant for the time being, but expect one in the near future. Pricing for the 280mm cooler lies right in between Corsair's H110i GT and NZXT's new X62, both of which are 280mm liquid coolers. Now on paper, the CLC 280 certainly looks to be a powerful cooling solution as it offers a massive 280mm radiator that's just 27mm thick, two large custom 140mm fans, and a well-built custom EVGA branded water block / reservoir combination unit. This is hands down one of the best looking and easy to install coolers I've come across lately. The tight nylon braiding tubing makes installation a breeze, and it's relatively flexible, plus you don't have to worry about accidental leaks from traditional PVC tubing found on some other AIOs. There's also a custom water pump that has its inlet and outlet ports on the top instead of the side, which reduces water pressure and thus noise. The water block features an acrylic top with a glowing EVGA RGB LED lit logo. Its colors and behavior can be customized through EVGA's flow control software. It's also pretty unique looking. I love the metal frame around the unit that adds an extra layer of premium quality, which EVGA has always been well known for. There's a micro USB port which is used for adding a data link for EVGA's control software, and the included cable connects easily to the motherboard's USB header. Rounding up, the bottom comes with a fairly polished copper base plate that has thermal paste pre-applied. So let's talk about those included 140mm fans. They're definitely unique looking, and I appreciate EVGA taking the step to design something that promises high performance, longevity, and quiet operation, and that last point has to be highlighted. You see, the unique chassis design allows these 140mm fans to rotate at a blistering 2200 RPM, yet maintaining lower noise levels. Remember, these are claims, so I guess it's just a matter of time to find out how well they perform during our benchmarks. Another thing I need to mention is that EVGA's design causes part of the fan blades to expose, so watch out for cables or anything else that could get in their way. The installation process was pretty straightforward. I mounted this cooler inside the NZXT S340 Elite mid-tower chassis. Now, given this is a 280mm radiator, I had no clearance issues within the chassis, and the fan blades never made contact with the front frame, something I was a little worried about with its design. It's still important to remember that your case has to natively support 280mm radiators and EVGA's own layout, so make sure to check the exact specifications and measure before buying the CLC 280. I then proceeded to install the included Intel-based backplate for Skylake and Kaby Lake. Do note that EVGA includes backplates and retention brackets for X99 and AIM-based motherboards too. The next step was to install the bolts to the CPU mounting holes in the motherboard and secure them. Given the plastic nature of the backplate, I'd be extra careful with tightening the bolts since overdoing them could cause some serious damage down the road. Thankfully, EVGA pre-installed the Intel bracket on the CPU block, so it was just a matter of time of placing it on top of the bolts, and I tightened them with the included screws. The pump doesn't require separate SATA power to function, it just works fine through the traditional 3-pin power / CPU fan connector. You do get two PWM fan headers to connect the dual 140mm fans, and the fan speeds can be adjusted directly through the flow software. Speaking of the software, well, EVGA still hasn't perfected the UI. In fact, this version 1.0 isn't even labeled as flow control software, and it does not even look closer to what EVGA has posted on their website, which might seem a little misleading. Either way, it looks pretty basic with appropriate controls for fan speed, LED lighting control with different effects, and different profiles to store within the system. You'll also be able to find real-time cooling temperatures and RPM readings alongside a visual fan curve if you'd like to configure your preferred setting. Like I said, it does need a lot of work, and I'm hoping EVGA updates the software sooner than later. Alright, so how well does this new CLC cooler from EVGA stack up with the competition? We use a hotter running 4.5 GHz 4770K for these tests to operate under the assumption that cooling for today's AAA processors will be better. Testing was also done a bit differently since we compared the coolers at different RPM levels to see if EVGA and their custom setup can really achieve a good balance between RPM levels and temperatures. Comparing it to popular 240mm solutions other than Predator 240, the CLC 280 does a pretty good job cooling the 4770K overclocked to 4.5 GHz. Starting at 1250 RPMs, we can see that EVGA's cooler really does trail behind the competition. While it can achieve better results than the 240mm AIOs like Animax's 240HP and the Liquid Pro 240, it runs quite a bit warmer than the H100 IGT and NZXT X62. Luckily, the CLC 280 is at a price point that's more affordable than many 280mm alternatives. It's also backed up by a long 5-year warranty. Bumping up fan speeds to a louder 2000 RPM sees EVGA's cooler catch up with Corsair and NZXT's 280mm AIOs, proving that it can be very competitive if we don't mind the noise. But what does this all mean for how loud the cooler is? Well, let's check out some acoustics. At 1250 RPMs, EVGA has obviously created an extremely quiet AIO with their custom fans, but when compared to NZXT's results here, there's a bit of concern. Not much, just a bit. It looks like even though the AirP fans on the X62 are about as noisy as the ones on the CLC 280, they provide much more performance. Listen to this, it's very quiet.
I'm here.
And what happens at 2000 RPM? Here, where the CLC 280 provides its best competitive cooling performance, it also becomes much louder than the X62. Meanwhile, on the positive side, it does remain quieter than Corsair's H110 IGT and many of the 240mm coolers. Let's have a listen here too.
Test my
Enemy slain.
push the attack.
To test out a theory, we took the NZXT fans and installed them on the EVGA CLC 280, and those results speak for themselves. At 1250 RPMs, installing those quieter NZXT units resulted in much lower temperature results. It looks like despite EVGA's claim of an optimal noise to performance ratio, NZXT's air technology is just so much better. It's almost like the CLC 280 fans aren't properly designed for low RPM scenarios. Like we expected, when operating at higher RPM levels, EVGA stock fans are almost as good as NZXT's, but I doubt many people will want their massive 280mm cooler running at these speeds anyways. Higher RPM pretty much defeats the purpose of buying a bigger cooler. To conclude, EVGA has come up with an excellent AIO solution that competes well within the all-in-one liquid coolers battleground. The price point is really competitive, and the hardware you get for that screams premium quality. However, the custom-designed 140mm fans struggled to push air through the radiator, which in turn resulted in higher temps at lower RPMs compared to the competition. Combining the air fans with the CLC 280 resulted in an amazing combination, so I'm genuinely hoping EVGA can go back to the drawing board and come up with a better fan design. Plus, please update the driver software. It seriously looks like a rushed out release that took inspiration from the 90s. All in all, for the price, the CLC 280 is a great solution if you're okay running your fans at slightly higher speeds. But looking away from the charted decibel results and towards what can actually be heard by a user, I think this AIO deserves a damn good value for. So what do you guys think of the EVGA CLC 280 liquid cooler? Do you guys think that they have potential to keep up with big leagues? Let us know in the comments down below. I'm Ibra with Hurricane X. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
My is my own. I'm listening.
so they return. Capture the altars quickly, heroes. This hero must Our towers assail the Raven Lord!
Is that all?
Send his servants to their grave. You have been slain.
There is no rest left for me. Of course.
Oppose the Raven Lord.
Suffer.
Vengeance is near. My will is my own. They flee before us. I'm here. Done. Hold back. Do not test my patience.
Yes, let the altars rise!
Beg for your miserable life. Forward. Beg for your miserable life.
Go! Do not let the altars fall into the Raven Lord's talons! We have secured the tower.
Done.
One of our towers has been snatched.
Show them no mercy.
All towers.
Fire!
Forward. Beg for your miserable life.
Heroes, I have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battleground center. Use it.
Oh, my heroes should have this gift as well.
Keep lost. The Raven Lord's heroes have taken a tower. Their keep has fallen. these realm titans. Capture the altars, and we shall deal the Raven Lord a grievous blow. Fire the towers! Destroy the Raven Lord! Let the assault begin!
Your failure will soon be complete, usurper.
I'm listening.
Show the Raven Lord the extent of my power! Yes! Send his servants to their graves!
Has met its end.
The Raven Lord will fall before me!
Of course. Forward. Let none survive. Of course.
This hero must die. It is fated.
Done. Let none survive. Forward.
The altars will be ours.
I'll fight on. They flee before us. I'm listening. I fight on.
Lay claim to the altars. Do not disappoint me.
The altars stand ready. Capture them before the Raven Lord's pawns do.
I'm here.
Destroy.
They
We
flee
have
before
taken
us.
a tower.
Interesting.
Let the assault begin! The Raven Lord will fall before me!
All that bluster. And for what?
Fire the towers! Destroy the Raven Lord! Your enemies keep falls! The Raven Lord has lost a tower. How unfortunate.
Push the attack.
Your enemies keep falls. The tower is under my control. yours to keep, heroes. Our tower has fallen. And so they return. Capture the altars quickly, heroes. Victory!
MVP.
What's up, everybody? It's John from Awe of Tech. Just received this package in from AMD overnighted. I'm really excited because the date, February 23rd, a day after the launch of Ryzen. Pre-orders available now. So I'll leave links in the description box down below for that. I'm really hoping that's what this is. Took a little peek at the package contents. Looks like I'm in for a super treat, and so are you guys. So without wasting more time, guys, let me open this up. Ooh. Team Red in the house. Guys, I think this is like a whole PC. Totally serious.